unfundable. Fusion reaction.
Oh, hell yeah.
Get to the chopper! Press go up. Gigantic fusion reactor that just worked.
Multiple income streams and real yield.
Ooh, yeah!
Cheats can no longer dump on your heads. The revolutionary decentralized finance protocol. Fusion reaction in T-3, 2, 1.
Fusion! You don't know the power. The math is unfundable. Fusion reaction.
Oh, hell yeah.
The mothership. And what's it gonna do? Everybody excited?
Oh, hell yeah.
In my creation! Fusion.
Get ready to rumble.
Fusion.
Gotta do a huge shout out to Cool Sheet. That song just hits.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to EMP.Money, our live stream every Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. All about Fusion, all about our ecosystem, lots of bullish updates, and a brand new avatar from my co-host with the most and fellow team member, LA. How are you?
I'm good. Always pumped up after listening to that song. It's been a good day and excited to be here with all of you.
Yeah, 100%, man. We have a lot to talk about. And the first thing is Bitcoin absolutely off to the races. Holy cow. I mean, we're at or almost at $100,000 Bitcoin. It may be happening as we're on the stream, which is just insanity. I mean, I never would have thought we would have taken off this fast. That's what happens. We say it even in the EMP ecosystem is once supply shock happens, once the FOMO kicks in, once sentiment turns, you get left behind if you're not prepared. And we're seeing that with Bitcoin right now. The FOMO is real, and I think we get to well over 100K by Q1 of next year. Major developments. Typical narrative. China bans Bitcoin. Now that Bitcoin's up, China approves Bitcoin. Gary Gensler officially resigning from the SEC. President Trump, electing not only Elon for the Department of Government Efficiency, but even the new Treasury, head is a Bitcoin bull. There's talks of a strategic Bitcoin reserve that the U.S. government would use as a hedge against, inflation and gold. I mean, you couldn't make this stuff up even if you tried. Everything that is could go right is going right in terms of crypto. So all that is super promising. And, we said all along that Bitcoin is the first to move. Bitcoin gets all the shine, but eventually that starts moving into ETH and eventually, alts. And we saw ETH with a major move today. And again, not financial advice, but I think ETH is really ready to take off. We could be at back to $4,000 ETH in no time. So things are looking really, really good. LA, what do you think? I know, again, we say it a lot, but this is your first official bull run. It's pretty insane, all the catalysts, huh?
Yes, today was such an exciting day. Just periodically looking at CoinGecko to see what everything's up to. It's exciting being a part of history with all-time highs, and yeah, I love it.
Yeah, no doubt. It's only going to get better from here. Again, typically when people start getting to the euphoria, that's usually a sign at the top. But, even if we see a rejection at 100K Bitcoin, there's just too much going on right now. Again, the ETFs, options trading, I mean, you name it. Again, like I said, that Bitcoin strategic reserve, that alone, if that actually happens, I mean, $1 million Bitcoin is well within the realm of possibilities. Could see, literally $1 trillion going into, or more going into Bitcoin. So, that again is pretty insane when you think of it. But, all right. So those are really the bullish market updates. Like I said, I think ETH is the next to move, and then obviously we get exposure to ETH through EMP, our massive liquidity, and people will start, looking at altcoins after ETH runs too, and that again will bring volume back into DeFi specific projects. So not only are we going to have a bump with the price of ETH, but we'll also have a bump with people getting into EMP and Fusion directly. So LA, it's been a really bullish week for Fusion, and even just before the
Mhm.
stream, I don't even know if we have this in our notes.
We
There was
did. I
a
fixed it.
all right, all right. Well, there was a massive sacrifice of that really brought us over our weekly goal already, which is just absolutely incredible. So, Elliot, why don't you go over a lot of the updates again, keeping in mind that it's even more bullish than this, and then we'll elaborate a little bit more.
Yes. So we're absolutely killing it so far this week with EMP sacrifices, and Peg is on its way up. We've absolutely smashed our community challenge 2 weeks in a row, and next week we'll be upping it significantly. But in the meantime, let's hit 200K EMC sacrifice this week. So currently we're sitting at 172,000. So let's us hit 200K or more. It's only Thursday. There's still 3 days to go. So totally attainable.
For
Um,
sure.
what's most impressive is we are already 47.46% of the way to our moon challenge, which is just absolutely insane. And it won't take long now before we start to really feel that supply shock. If you go to the dashboard, there's actually a brand new supply shock meter. And that in itself is super, super bullish. So we're currently sitting just below 46%. And if you look at the chart, once we hit over 50% on that meter, supply shock begins. EMP becomes scarcer and peg recovery gets easier. And every percentage above 50%, supply shock gets stronger and stronger. EMP is harder to find, driving up its value and helping the peg recover faster. So I absolutely love that addition to the Fusion Watch site. Just reading that and looking at it gets me super bullish. And we have had, let me even look now because I think it's higher than when I wrote my notes. We have had a whopping 1,600,000 EMP sacrificed in the last week. That is absolutely insane. Nearly a third of a million. In the last month, we've had 850K. And in the last 3 months, 2.1 million EMP sacrifice. It's insane.
That is insane.
So we're doing so well. And we had an absolutely massive sacrifice today from the current leader of our leaderboard. And it just really seems like people are finally really starting to realize just where we're headed. And they want in before we get back to peg, because that peg bonus is still so insanely juicy. It's still over 7x. I believe, what is it at today? 7.72x. It's insane. So AJ, could you hop over to where it says FW Labs? Because I would love to do a little demonstration of.
For sure.
They've even added another new category from earlier when I was looking at it. These guys are unstoppable. Shout out to John and Grover. Like, holy crap. But the future value one just had me absolutely floored earlier, because basically this MG future value means your microgrid future value. And if you clue in the amount of sacrifice points that you have right now, and you put today's ETH price, and you see how much more than your current microgrid value that is, even if ETH were to stay the exact same, this shows you the value of your microgrid at peg. If that is not motivation itself to do some sacrifices every week and help us get back to peg further, I don't know what is, because looking at that chart, even if ETH were to stay exactly where it is today, our microgrid values would be just absolutely insane. And then when you factor in ETH potentially getting up to like $10,000, it's just absolutely wild. So AJ, can you remind us of what that utopia final vision is for Fusion, and why this future microgrid value is so important to that vision?
Yeah, 100% LA again. I mean, like you said earlier, shout out to Grover and John. I mean, literally, it was like this morning they said, "Hey, we have some ideas we're going to implement," and boom, by the end of the night, and mind you, both of them are on the other side of the world, pretty much. So the fact that get this done is just incredible. I mean, again, we knew we had the best smart contract developers, but now that we have some front end help as well. And again, the brainstorming power of Grover's ideas and John's implementation, as well as all of the amazing beta testers, we come to this. So yeah, again, I just want to start off by saying thank you, thank you, thank you to all of them. And again, if you see your bags pumping, please consider donating to the address at the bottom. That goes right to them. So all right. So, but that's what Ellie was saying. Yeah, I mean, obviously, we want to set some expectations. I know that this value is pretty astronomical, but the reality is that it truly could be your actual market value of your microgrid at peg. And obviously, if you're looking to liquidate, you may have to sell at a little bit of a discount, but even that is insane considering the amount of X's that are built in to what you're building at these levels. So again, you can play around with all the different uh, metrics here. This one, 1,000,000 sacrifice points when ETH gets to 10K, your microgrid values at 2.69 million. And again, the euphoria or the nirvana state that we get to is when there is no more EMP in existence. That is what LA was mentioning earlier. That is truly when you start seeing the market value of your microgrids become reality. And the reason that is because somebody has to buy the sacrifice points or your microgrid from you at that point. There is no more sacrifice because there is no more EMP. And that is our third and final phase. And what's even more incredible is not only will all of the rewards then be funneled into increasing the APR to make that really attractive. But then we, as a protocol, will also go and be buying microgrids off the market, like very similar to a stock buyback, where you really, if you're patient enough, you really could realize that amount of money over time because we're buying off the market. And if the floor price is around what the peg value is, then that is 100% your actual realized gains over time. So I know the numbers look a little unbelievable, but that is the reality if we all continue to work as a community and get to phase 3 where there is no more EMP, all of our revenue and all of our economic momentum is pushed into APRs, and then people are jumping at the chance to buy your microgrid because they want a piece of that yield. And if there's no microgrids for sale, then it's impossible to get in, and then we as a protocol will buy at market value anyway to reduce the sacrifice points overall, and that will alternatively increase the APR automatically, even with the same amount of rewards, because we're distributing it to less holders. So that again is the end goal, the nirvana, the final form, the final boss, whatever analogy you want to use. But yeah, this really demonstrates the potential for sure. And then, is that anything else you want to add to that, LA? I know we also have the APR calculators and some other the sacrifice point calculator as well.
No, that was it. It's just such a powerful vision. And, um, getting back to PEG is, right around that time when we start a second major marketing push. And we put this story up everywhere about the comeback story and EMP being back to PEG and all the EMP being locked within Fusion. And you bet your ass we have new people wanting to get in on it. And that's when the magic happens.
Yeah, 100%. Even, obviously these are theoretical numbers, but even if we were able to, offer a 10% APR, based on your microgrid value, I mean, you're looking at, $600 a day. And again, this is assuming that we're able to scale the revenue, the treasury grows, we get more and more, income through Dex swap. I mean, HVM. I mean, all of this again, even though $600 a day in yield sounds crazy, if we're able to be bringing in, even just from Universe Madness alone, could potentially be $100,000 a day. So that number again would be very doable when all the final form comes together. And then last but not least, I just want to highlight this too on why the peg bonus is so powerful. So again, say you're sacrificing 10,000 EMP today, that gets you, 75,000 TAC points. Just look at how this is affected. That same 10,000 sacrificed closer to peg, even at, a 3.25x, it's literally half the sacrifice points. So this illustrates the way the peg bonus is really meant to encourage people to buy and sacrifice now while we are this far below peg, and it reduces the amount of sac points in circulation as we get closer to peg. So as we start to recover peg, the economics are much healthier, and obviously when we are at peg, it will be very difficult to get as many sac points to build your microgrid as it would be at a 7x, like today. So again, keep that in mind because it becomes way more expensive to build your value as we get closer to peg. And that's why everybody, it just blows my mind. I mean, I get it when ETH pumps, we see some profit taking because the actual dollar value of EMP is up. But if you're looking at sac point ratios, it's absolutely crazy to sell at these levels because you're getting such a massive multiplier on sac points. So yeah, all right, awesome. Did that help, LA? I think these three calculators are really, it doesn't get any more clear than the potential here. For sure.
Yeah, and it's never been more clear that we have to continue to work together as a community, like more and more every week, so that we can get there faster because we have all been in this for a long time and we all deserve to be making great money within Fusion. And the more that we continue to work together as a community, the faster that we get to the potential of all of these stats becoming our reality.
100%. And again, just to set expectations, I mean, all of this is just based on theoretical economics and what we have planned. But again, these numbers can be extremely doable with the economic model that we have built. So, uh, none of this is financial advice. Never invest more than you can afford. But the potential here is just unbelievable, especially considering, you know, the momentum that we've had just over the last few even weeks. I mean, this metric, let me find it here again. It was so bullish. So again, literally almost a million EMP sacrificed in 1 month. Um, that is, 1/50th of the entire supply in 1 month. It's just insane. So things are looking really, really promising, and we have some tricks up our sleeve as well. So we'll have some big announcements coming, which we'll talk about in a minute here. But uh, um, with the launch of DexSwap, we have some really unique ideas that can even help us get to our goal even faster. So again, we don't want to be the ones to say we told you so. Just like Bitcoin, you know, uh, you could have bought it at a third of the price, just a few months ago, or almost a year ago, but 6 months ago. Don't let that be the same story with EMP for sure. So, all right, awesome. Ellie, what else? Do you want me to show anything while I have my screen share, or are we good to go back to our notes?
Yeah, the only other reminder on the Fusion website, the Fusion Watch website, is that we are also in beta for some new weekly challenges. So this includes weekly challenges for sacrificing existing EMP and for holding the most e-share.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, Top Pioneer, we have token leaderboards of EMP and eShare. Yeah, we're working out again the best way to correlate that data without it being, gameable per se. But yeah, everything's looking really good. And obviously the top guns, I mean, we've been giving away, you know, uh, 12,000 EMP a week that gets sacrificed directly. And again, this sacrificer today with a massive sacrifice is going to be able to, you can win both. So he's number one right now on the top sacrificer, and number three over here with a 10, which is pretty amazing considering a 52% gain with the size of the bag they already had. I mean, that is really impressive. So again, they can win both prizes, first and third. But yeah, and again, review the terms and conditions, just to make sure you know your eligibility. But all right,
And
awesome. Yeah,
huge shout outs to second and third place also, because man, those are absolutely monstrous sacrifices. So way to go, guys.
yeah, no doubt. Again, you can't, you never know who's gonna try to come in over top, and hey man, who knows? Maybe there's another, 541,000 sacrifice at the 11th hour. You never know, but yeah, that would be pretty epic. But again, we're all rowing in the same direction for sure.
Love
Cool.
it.
All right, let me go back
Yes.
to the notes. I'll let you continue. Go ahead, Ellie.
Well, another really exciting thing, and if you could maybe pull it up, is that the Dex Vaults had a mega update.
Yeah, you know what? Let me do that for sure.
Yeah, the long-awaited
Hang on
V4
one sec. I'm gonna
iteration.
mute too.
The
Yep.
long-awaited
Cool.
V4 iteration of DexFi Vaults is here, making our most ambitious update yet with a complete platform overhaul. So I noticed that right before the announcement went up, I saw all this new information on the screen. I was like, "Holy cow, it's the day." And then it happened.
All right, sorry about that. Can you hear me now, LA? Was
I
having
can
some
hear you. Yep.
technical difficulties today. All right, let me pull up Dex Vaults. Yeah, one sec.
There we go.
Yes, 100%. So, yeah, you want to start and then I'll elaborate, or you want me to dive in?
Sure. So we have a revamped UI UX enhanced tools, and a sharper brand identity. The changes include improved deposit withdrawal features, simplified processes, including free Zappin functionality for dual token or LP NFT options. And then new vault pages provide detailed insights for informed investments. And then we'll expand into the AILM stuff as well.
Yeah, 100%. So, yeah, I know, again, even for me, being used to the old DexFi website, it took me a little bit to get used to, but the UI is so robust now. So, again, first of all, DexFi.com. Again, Jake, Dex CEO, was able to get the shortened URL. That's really bullish. Obviously, Dex Finance, becoming DexFi, much more brand friendly. TVL is already growing. Again, with the market pumping, we're at about 3 million total TVL. Now that we have this rolled out, all the new AILM, which we'll talk about in a second, and all the vaults, we added about another 150 new vaults as well, a lot of which are on Pulse Chain, which we'll show. I'll give a quick overview of all this, but I just want to highlight the TVL because I want all of you to watch this. My personal goal is to 10x this TVL within the next few months. So we want to get this TVL to 30 million. And if we can do that, both GDEX holders and EMP will be in an amazing spot. So let's all work on that together. These are very, very powerful. And again, I think people just get overwhelmed with what it is. But once you really take the time to learn, they are money making machines. And, this is the same technology that we use for our treasuries, our private group yield consortium. We utilize all this LP providing and auto vaults to generate real and sustainable yield that comes from the volume and the fees. So again, just to highlight a few more, we've added a ton of new vaults. Again, you're able to look at different APYs through and daily returns. If I go here, some of these are very highly, like let's F&D gen. Some of these are really high risk, so be careful. But again, I mean, this one alone is 2% daily in real yield. Obviously, there's some risk of impermanent loss, so you have to be careful on that front. But it's really, really powerful. So let's just take a look at, let's look at one on Pulse. So again, we added a lot more functionality on Pulse as well. Obviously we have our partner vaults with SparkSwap, but we've added Pulse X as well. So let's take a look at one of these. This is the Wrap PLS DAI on Pulse X. Again, you would just switch to Pulse chain. You can deposit very easily. And Pulse has been on fire too. Spark is up 10% today alone just because our massive exposure to PLS. I think everything is looking good in the PLS ecosystem. But as long as you have Pulse, you don't even need any other tokens. You can zap right in. So say 50%, $300. Be careful not to go too crazy because there is price impact. And then literally you hit deposit and it creates the vault for you. And this one is a 100% compound, so your rewards will go into buy more PLS and more DAI. But you can look at other vaults that have different take profit strategies, and we have a full tutorial on vaults on our YouTube. And Jake and I will be doing a fireside chat and an AMA train over the next few weeks all about this. So that is all pretty similar. But one more thing I wanted to highlight is the AILM. So now we also implemented amazing technology through automated liquidity management of V3 vaults as well. So let me go ahead and find one that is purely V3. Hang on. Yeah, we can go. Here we go. again, I gotta get used to the new UI as well. We'll look at AILM. All right, nothing on base. Let's look on everything overall. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, Arbitrum is probably a good start. So let's just look at this one, for example. So what happens is these are concentrated liquidity V3 LPs with AILM, and you can see that they are in range. So there is the AI algorithm will actually determine the best percentage for each one of these pools or LPs, depending on the volume. So see how this one's pretty wide? That's because ETH and ARB have been really moving a lot right now. This one's a little tighter because it's, the price is a little more stable. And so as the volume increases and as the, price fluctuates, the AILM will automatically keep your LP in range. And again, if you're in range, you're actually earning the fees. When you're out of range, that's when you have to rebalance, and that becomes very expensive in terms of impermanent loss. You can actually lose money by rebalancing, but because of the AILM, will automatically rebalance and keep you in range, you have a lot less risk to impermanent loss, and you have a lot higher rewards. So again, most of these are blue chips for the most part, and you're still seeing a 0.3% daily on blue chips, which is just incredible. So the AILM is amazing. The liquidity on all of these is huge. 14 million again. ETH ARB, uh, ETH Grit, and ETH Zero for layer zero. This could be a really great vault as well. Again, make sure you do your research. You can get absolutely wrecked if you don't understand the impermanent loss risk, but the AILM really mitigates that. And we're one of the only V3 supported vault systems that has an automated liquidity manager, and because it's AI trained, we're beating even those. Another popular one. The most popular one, we're beating it by about 10%. So again, this is really powerful. And obviously everything that we built has been audited and safe. We have never had an issue yet. So yeah. All right. Is that go over the majority of it, LA? Yeah, we'll do a deeper dive, but we could do a whole hour on this alone.
Yeah, so maybe just to take it a little bit further, obviously we will have an AMA where you and Jake are on at the same time and can kind of dive into this deeper. But how do they go about doing their research when it comes to these new AILM vaults, and what tips do you have for helping them to research to pick the ideal ones for them?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, really, it just boils down to your risk tolerance. So, like this one is a good example. This is way more degen. So, obviously you have ETH Brett. Brett is a meme token. Honestly, I don't even know what degen is, but just by the name, I'm assuming it's pretty high risk. Um, and then yeah, you just need to look at the individual pairs, and if there is anything in this group that you would not be comfortable holding 100% of, I would say don't go in it. I would say pick one that you would, because ultimately, in a worst case scenario, you may get out of range just because even with the AILM, if there's a big movement in price, obviously it still needs to catch up. And in crypto, you can have a crash, in a matter of seconds. But you could end up holding a bunch of Brit, and you'd have to wait for the price to recover to be able to get rid of that impermanent loss. So again, it's really just a matter of preference and managing your risk. So again, even though these are pretty degenerate in terms of like meme tokens, the daily reward is 1% on these. So even with the impermanent loss, if the daily percentage is high enough, you can outrun the impermanent loss and actually make more money. So, a great strategy I've used is experiment with a bunch of different vaults at, $100 or so, and then really see the performance in real time and then allocate more and more to whatever vault is performing the best. And it is a bit of even though the vaults are very hands off, if you do go into the higher APR vaults, you will need to monitor them a little bit more. Uh, or you can just put it in, a Bitcoin ETH pair, and no matter what asset you end up getting, you're happy and you let it ride. So yeah, again, it's really based on your personal risk tolerance.
Awesome. I think that actually really helped anyone wondering that. And just to mention, if this all overwhelms you and you're not even really sure how to go about doing it or what to pick, we do have our yield consortium where we do it all for you. We, as in AJ. um,
Yeah, 100%. Well, and it's all smart contract based. So we just deposit it into the pools that we think are the most risk to reward balanced. And yeah, I mean, again, everything is I'm not trading on your behalf. It's all through smart contracts. But yeah, it is our private solution. If people are overwhelmed, and you do have to contact me personally to get in. We're getting ready to take another round, so it's the end of every month. So timing is perfect for that too.
Yes, our first month they were able to earn 12%. We are not quite at the end of the month yet to report this month's, but if you are interested in getting in that and just having the team do it for you instead of doing it individually, if it does feel overwhelming to you, just send AJ a DM.
Perfect. Yep, 100%.
Okay, let's see what else is on the notes about the AI LM. So, if you're interested in concentrated liquidity but not sure how to set up your ranges, simply select the AI LM option when configuring your vault and let our custom AI sift through thousands of data points to configure the optimal range for the specific assets within your vault. Invest with confidence, knowing that our AI recalibrates every harvest and automatically adjusts itself if it finds a more profitable range. AILM automates V3 liquidity management using AI, ensuring optimal ranges and rebalancing based on price action and volatility. AI managed vaults and custom ranges. DexFi offers flexibility for all your investment needs. Mix and match multiple AMM types from different exchanges, all within a single strategy for complete portfolio management. There's beginner vaults, expert vaults, and custom vaults. You choose.
I love it. Perfect. Yep, that pretty much sums up the new release from a technical standpoint. And yeah, I mean, again, there's also risk meters. That's also a great way to, determine the risk. And it's also specific to, I just want to highlight this one real quick too. I think there's different strategies for different times of the market as well. So right now, again, not financial advice and not to get too complicated, but these AILMs are really powerful with even stable tokens. So if you maybe go more high risk now because the market is pumping, you have a lot more exposure to Bitcoin and ETH, maybe some of the higher blue chip memes. Um, that would be a good play. And then over the next 6 months, you start taking profit into just a simple, USDC, USDT pair that, is a stable pair where the range can be very, very tight. And, again, based on volume, you know, if you're getting, and this is probably, it takes a while for the UI to update. This is probably a little high, I would say. But a 0.5% on stables is just insane. So, and again, this is a lower used pool, so the liquidity is only 148K. So the reason that the percentage is so higher is because there's only 148K in total liquidity. If there was 14 million and it was a Uniswap pool, on ETH, and we're hoping to support ETH in the future, but that's when your APR is 0.01% on stables. But again, you can hunt for opportunities like this, and as long as it's on a legitimate DEX that isn't going to rug, then the APRs can be insane. So and we're always going to be adding more and more vaults as well. Again, we're looking to add a few more chains. We added a bunch more vaults on Pulse. We now support 9-inch, and we're looking into 2FUX, obviously Spark Swap and Pulse X. So definitely take a look there. Again, the TVL is pretty impressive. Almost 1/3 of the entire TVL is on Pulse. So again, we're looking really, really good in terms of product market fit and the incoming bull market.
Love it. That's so powerful.
For sure. So, all right, awesome. All right,
Amazing.
anything else you want me to show, or we can jump back over?
That's it for our notes. If anyone has any questions, please let us know. I don't see any on Discord, so it's all up to you guys in the YouTube and Twitter comments.
All right, yeah, I know I should have said that at the top of the show. Man, we got a lot of viewers today. Shout out to all of you. Again, this StreamYard platform, being able to stream on YouTube and Twitter really helps. We're at 85 viewers, so shout out to all of you. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I forgot to say that at the beginning too. Man, I'm rusty today. After my AMA trains, I'm a little under the weather. I need a little break. But we're always here on Thursdays to update everybody. But yeah,
A
any
reminder,
yeah,
and
go
just a
ahead.
reminder for those of you on Twitter, please, as you're watching the streams, remember to retweet, like, and make sure you're following EMP because we've got lots more to come.
Yeah, 100% LA. We're just getting started, and with the momentum that we're building just from the sacrifices alone, supply shock is a real thing, and once ETH really starts to take off, I think all eyes are going to be on EMP. And again, we have some really special things in the works that will be some secret sauce to help us jumpstart once that supply shock is happening. So again, it's going to get real interesting around here over the next few weeks, for sure. So all
Love
right,
it.
yeah, totally. Yeah, I don't see any questions today. That's amazing. Usually we have some good ones. I don't know. Was there anything you want to add? Shout out to Grover. He's always in the chat. If there's anything you want to add, Grover, before we wrap it up, or LA, what are your final words of wisdom for the evening?
Oh, just that when we all work together, we get to where we want to go so much quicker. And it's been inspiring seeing the work that everyone's putting in. A reminder that if you're having private conversations like in our VIP or in your DMs about amazing things happening in the ecosystem, like a giant sacrifice or anything positive, be sure to also share those things in our public groups because that's how we grow. That's how we create really positive momentum. That's how we inspire other community members to get involved. So let's remember to spread the good fortune, spread the good positivity, and keep working together because it's clearly working. We're clearly reaching our goals, and it's just amazing to be a part of.
I couldn't agree more, LA. Again, shout out to all of you. This community is what makes us what we are. I did a heartfelt recap in our socials about a week ago. We just been grinding so hard. I took some time to reflect, and all of this would not be possible without all of you. I know it's been what we call a hero's journey. Obviously, there's been a lot of ups and downs. Some people have come and gone. But all of you that are still here, again, we're on the precipice of really getting the flywheel started, and that flywheel is kicked off with the supply shock, peg recovery, then all the momentum goes into APRs and stabilizing peg, and then when there's no more EMP left, we get into the final phase, step 3, where the only way to get into EMP is through buying a microgrid, and that means all the value is transferred to microgrid holders, and it truly is a community protocol at that point. So all of that is so bullish, and again, something that really I've never seen done, especially in the scale that we're doing it in all of DeFi. So shout out to all of you, and yeah, we're going to continue building, continue generating more revenue streams. Have another meeting next week about yet another potential revenue stream. I haven't even told LA about this yet. I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch.
Ooh.
But yeah, we have another meeting with a potential revenue stream. So things are really going well. Obviously, we hope that it would happen sooner. We always want that overnight success, but I would much rather have a long-term sustainable protocol than an overnight, pump and dump. So keep on the path, and yeah, I think that'll wrap it up. I don't see any more comments. Shout out to all of you. 100 viewers tonight, so that's good news. I think we're getting more and more eyeballs on EMP. And yeah, and we have our almost forgot. We have our Universe Madness AMA right after this. So 8:30 p.m. Eastern, about an hour from now, over on the Universe Madness channel. We have some even more bigger updates with HVM as well. So again, it's nonstop. The entire dev team and community is working their butts off to deliver, and 2025 will be absolutely massive for all of us. So all right, I think that'll do it. Again, LA, thank you for being here. Anything else?
Thanks, everyone. We'll see you over in just under an hour on the HVM stream. And we look forward to being with you guys every week. So we'll see you soon.
Yes, absolutely. On that note, join us every Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. Good night, good day. We'll see you on next Thursday. Bye bye, everyone.